I've been researching the topic of domestic violence against women, a concern that affects many societies worldwide. I'm particularly interested in understanding how this issue is perceived and addressed in some Muslim-majority countries, where discussing such topics might be considered sensitive or taboo.
Anybody that tells you violence against your own spouse is justifiable in Islam is not only a liar, but he's absolutely disparaging the Messenger of Allah.
Is it okay for a Muslim to be abusive? Is anybody going to say yes? If someone said to you, is it okay for a father to beat his daughter? Is it okay for a husband to beat his wife? Is it okay for a person who is in a situation of authority to take advantage of that authority and exert some undue hardship or unrest upon somebody who is relying upon them because they're in that authoritative position to be someone who is the epitome of trustworthiness and integrity, but now they have violated that right? Would we say ever Islamically that that's okay? No, we wouldn't.
We're told so much that it's actually more holy, or you're a better Muslim if you stay, but in fact it has a detrimental effect on your iman. And there are shuyukh who have told me that most of the children, most of the youth who end up leaving Islam came from abusive households. Most of the children who ended up leaving Islam came from abusive households. And what happens is they see this abuse, they grow up in it, and they start to hate everything associated with that life. And that includes Islam.
And this is something that is well documented in our deen, that even backbiting at this point, some people say, well, I don't want to ruin that person's reputation. You shouldn't care. That person didn't care enough about you to not harm you and abuse you. You should not care about their reputation. And in those moments, in fact, the Prophet ﷺ taught us that when you're averting harm from another person, it's not backbiting. As Fatima bint Qais in Bukhari and Muslim, radiallahu ta'ala anha, she asked the Prophet ﷺ, she said that I received the proposal from Muawiyah, not Muawiyah bin Abu Sufyan, another Muawiyah, and from Abu al-Jahm. And Rasulullah ﷺ said about Abu al-Jahm, he says that Abu al-Jahm doesn't put his stick down, right? Meaning what? He's an abuser. So Rasulullah ﷺ was talking ill of that companion, but that was to avert a greater harm. So don't feel guilty and don't think that you're doing anything un-Islamic when you report an abuser.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا يحل لكم أن ترثوا النساء كرها ولا تعضلوهن لتذهبوا ببعض ما آتيتموهن إلا أن يأتين بفاحشة مبينة وعاشروهن بالمعروف فإن كرهتموهن فعسى أن تكرهوا شيئا ويجعل الله فيه خيرا كثيرا.
O you who have believed, it is not lawful for you to inherit women by compulsion, and do not make difficulties for them in order to take back part of what you gave them, unless they commit a clear immorality, and live with them in kindness. For if you dislike them, perhaps you dislike a thing, and Allah makes therein much good.